How to become awakened. Practical instruction that uses the so-called two-part or two-step formula offered by Open Heart at openheart.fi. The two-step formula uses two specific modes as a practice, as a technique that has the purpose and the goal, the aim is to get awakened, so to speak. An awakening, as defined in materials offered by Open Heart, means that the solidity or illusion regarding the sense of self, subject self, me or I, it disappears. So illusion and delusion regarding the subject self, it disappears. And when this happens, this is the so-called awakening, which is a significant shift for a person who hasn't yet had that insight, a meaningful change in one's being that extends also to everything what one thinks or does or acts. So the first mode used in the two-part formula is the I-less, me-less mode. And the second one is I-based, me-based mode. So in this practice session, we will go through both modes a couple of times. I will guide you through it and instruct you, give you instructions along the way how to use it, how to get awakened. Okay, so take a good, comfortable posture. And first, we're starting with the I-less mode. Just start feeling your body, the physical body, and allow relaxation in the body parts, different areas of your body, in your muscles, in your whole being. Relax. You're sensing, looking into the body. Seeking for places that need relaxation, where releasing of tensions is needed. And when you do this scanning inside the body, you notice some tension in any part of your body. When the tension is released, notice what is found in the place of that former tension. Make notice of what is found there. It's just open space. It's like a peaceful area that is revealed in the place of tension. Just keep continuing this in your whole body for a couple of minutes. becoming aware of tensions, locations of tension, allowing it to release itself, and then noticing what is found in that place. Keep doing this for a few moments. You can have your eyes open or closed, it doesn't matter. But perhaps if you don't have former experience of meditation practice or mindfulness practices, it might be helpful to have your eyes closed, to be able to feel your body space better. Just keep releasing tensions. And with each location, notice the area of open space that is imbued with peace, calmness, and clarity. As you keep doing this, what happens is that these small areas of openness, space, peacefulness, they connect to each other. And a larger space of openness, peacefulness is reveals itself. If you yet don't notice this happening, just keep on releasing the tensions and it will happen by itself. And then, when it happens, when this open space reveals itself, notice it, make notice of it. Kind of look around, get familiar with it. What is it like? Look into your own experience and see what it's like. Are there thoughts there? Are there emotions there? Does the inner open space have some kind of a form or shape or a color? Does this open space have a self, sense of self? Is there me or I there? Look into your own experience. And try to come up with an answer to these questions. In our everyday language, we refer to ourselves as me or I or mine. See if this sense of I or me exists in this open inner space. Seek for it from all directions. See if the I exists in the center of this space. The reason why this mode, the first mode of the two-part formula, is called the I-less mode is because I or me, sense of self, cannot be found from this inner space. The I thought does not exist in this space. The sense of me, me-ness, is not there. So this is sort of like an analytical questioning, like an inquiry about this inner space, to see if the self or I is there or not, and how the open inner space, how is it in the first place? What are the characteristics of it? For a few moments, just feel, just perceive this open inner space. How does it feel? Does it feel like something that has meaning to you, that is meaningful and important? Perhaps you feel very familiar with it, like being at home, like being safe, like being taken care of. Feeling good and natural. And comfortable. Just soak in it, marinate in it. You can let your body tensions unwind more. Let even more tensions of your body be released. Into this open space. So we went through the essential questions a few moments ago regarding this I-less mode. Try to find answers to these questions by asking these questions to yourself and finding the answer from your own actual experience. Very simple questions. They are not difficult, complex questions or trick questions. Very simple stuff. And now let's continue to the second part of the two-part formula, the second mode, I-based mode. In the second mode, we use self-affirmation, where you say to yourself, I, I, or me, 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 me. Repeat I or me or mine to yourself several times. Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. Say it in a way as you say or refer to yourself in everyday conversations or thinking. Say it in a way as if you are meaning yourself. I, me. And after you have done the affirmations like this, then just feel, be aware of what this affirmation brings up. It is usually not difficult for anyone to notice that there is a great difference between this mode, I-based mode, and the I-less mode. By using the affirmation, thinking of me, by thinking of I, it brings different kind of sensations, energies. Be aware of these energies. It might feel very restricting, unnatural. It does bring up tension. Maybe the sense of being irritated, or something like this. Something unnatural, something that does not feel comfortable. So what happens here is that we bring up our sense of self that only exists on the level of thought. Our sense of self only exists on the level of thought. And as we use this affirmation, which is thought, with this simple technique, we can become aware of what this sense of self, this I or me is, that we have referred to throughout our lives. So when you use the affirmation and these sensations come up, just be aware of them. Don't hold on to them, don't reject them. Even if they might feel very uncomfortable, don't reject them. But rather, from the selfless, I-less space, be aware of them. Your stomach might twist, or there might be tension in your heart, in your chest, or you might feel like a steel band around your head. Fine. Just be aware of it. They are just energies, energetic sensations, just the sense of self. Just patiently be aware and wait until the sensations wear off, disappear. Eventually they will. Just wait for the sensations to disappear. And as the sensations do disappear, eventually completely, what is left? When you are attentive or mindful of your experience, what is left? What is left is the same I-less state, selfless state. Without the self-contraction, without being localized as these contracted sensations. When this selfless space reveals itself, again, notice it. Feel it with your body, with your whole being, and again you can check. Am I here? Is there a self here? Look into your own experience. And for a moment, just enjoy it, marinate in it, recognize it. Conscious recognition of our natural state. As you experienced some tension with the affirmation after it, see if there's any similar tension with this mode. No, there isn't. It's rather tensionless, natural, as said before. It feels very good. So this is already the second time that we are in the selfless mode, in the first mode, and now we go back to the second mode, self-based mode, by doing the affirmation again. So say, repeat I or me or mine, whichever of them works for you. Repeat it a few times, referring to yourself, meaning yourself. I, me, me, mine, mine. And after you do the affirmation a few times, then just see what happens again. And now something very important. In various spiritual teachings, the topic of self-delusion is talked about widely, and often. So self-delusion can be divided into different areas, different departments. And as I said earlier, awakening is about the subject self. Subject meaning here it means our eyes, me. So here with the two-part formula we are interested in the I, in the self, in me, that is always the beginning of a chain of thought. For example, if I have the experience that I am angry or I am frustrated, the subject self is the I, and the so-called the frustration or anger is the so-called object self. Both of these, the I and the emotional state, are parts of the self-delusion, but they are different departments. They feel different. So here with the affirmation we specifically try to get to the sense of subject self. We try to dig or get to the energetic sensation of the I that people often feel in their heart space, in the chest, and especially behind the eyes, inside the head. So when you use the affirmation, sooner or later you will feel that there is some tension, like a knot of energy behind the eyes inside your head. And when you get to this sensation, you are getting to the core of this sense of subject self. Be aware of it. See it, feel it, be aware of it. Not trying to solve it in any way, like solving a mathematical equation, not trying to fix it, not trying to kick it out or make it disappear. Just be aware of it. And it will transform by itself. Transforming means that the sense of self is like a sort of like an onion. When you start peeling it and removing the layers just by being aware of it, eventually inside you find nothing. And in the process of peeling off the layers, you will have these different energetic sensations in your body. Mostly uncomfortable sensations, unpleasant sensations. But eventually, as you keep peeling off the layers by using the affirmation and by having the selfless open inner space as a general context of this experience, at some point it happens that all these layers regarding this subject self are peeled off. All the factors that make the sense of self have been seen through, have been seen to be illusion, like a magic trick. And when that happens, then there is a so-called insight, seeing into something and having realization, having an aha moment, having a direct recognition of the natural state, having an awakening. So you can use this two-part formula in two different ways. First way, that has been also explained in the materials found at Open Heart website, is sitting sessions. So if you want to commit to this processing, it's good to 1, 2, 3 times a day sit for 20 minutes or 30 minutes and use the two parts as we have done in this session, where you can silently, without conversating or doing other actions, where you can process it on your own, deeply, without any distractions. That's one thing, and this is very important, sitting sessions. And the second way you can work with these two modes is by observing your mind, these two modes, and them going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in your daily actions. When you are at work, when you are traveling, and especially when you are with other people. With other people we usually react through our I, through our sense of self. So just observe how this sense of self, how it comes up during conversation, how we tend to react through the I, with the I, and also observe how it subsides. And then the selfless experience, selfless sphere is again revealed. So these are the two ways of using this instruction. Sitting sessions and active sessions, noticing the two modes in action. What is also very important is not to only dig into or not only use either one of the modes. It's essential to use both in the same measure, 50-50. Okay, I hope you have found this guided session useful. All the best with your processing, and you can find more information on the topic of awakening from the openheart.fi website or the Open Heart blog. Thank you and good luck.